Feeling down? You're not alone. In this video, we will explore 5 reasons why people are depressed in 2024 and how to overcome them. Reason number 1. One of the biggest reasons for depression is the constant comparison with others. Let's talk about this thing with social media. It's everywhere, and it's so easy to get caught up in it. It's like this weird highlight reel of everyone else's life showing only the best moments, and it's messing with our heads, making us feel like we're missing out or not measuring up. You're scrolling through, seeing people on vacation, showing off their perfect bodies, their perfect relationships, their perfect everything. It's like a never-ending parade of perfection. And you're sitting there on your couch in your sweatpants, feeling like you're not enough. It's a tough spot to be in. But here's the thing, it's all bullshit. It's not real life. People curate these images, they only show you what they want you to see. It's a carefully crafted illusion. It's like this weird performance, and we're all buying into it, thinking it's reality. We're comparing our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel, and it's a recipe for disaster. It's not a fair comparison. Instead of getting sucked into that trap, focus on your own journey. Reflect on what truly matters to you. What are you passionate about? What makes you happy? These are the things that should drive you. What are you good at? What skills do you want to develop? Double down on those things. Invest your time and energy in what brings you joy and fulfillment. Social media can be a tool. It can be a source of inspiration and learning if used wisely. You can use it to learn, to connect with people who share your interests, to find inspiration. It's all about how you use it. But you gotta be careful not to let it turn into this negative feedback loop of comparison. It's a slippery slope. You're not seeing the struggles, the insecurities, the doubts that everyone goes through. Everyone has their own battles. We all have our own challenges. Everyone has their own problems and obstacles. Nobody's life is perfect, no matter what they show you online. Perfection is an illusion. So, take a step back from the Instagram, TikTok, from all of it. Give yourself a break. Start following people who inspire you, who motivate you, who make you want to be a better version of yourself. Surround yourself with positivity, and most importantly, focus on your own growth. Set your own goals. Instead of comparing with others, compare with yourself. If you today are better than you yesterday, that is a win. Set goals, work towards them, and celebrate your wins. Every step forward is progress. Your journey is unique. Embrace it. Don't let social media make you forget that. Remember, your path is your own. Reason number 2. Many of us are losing steering wheel of our own life. Staying true to yourself is essential for mental well-being. The world's changing so fast, and it can feel like you're getting left behind if you don't keep up. There's this constant barrage of information, of opinions, of expectations, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed. You got all these voices telling you who you should be, what you should believe, what you should be doing. It's like this constant pressure to fit in, to be part of the tribe, even if that tribe doesn't really resonate with you. But here's the thing, being true to yourself is more important than fitting in. Your beliefs, your values, your perspective, that's what makes you unique, that's what gives you strength. It's like this, you're not here to live up to anyone else's expectations. You're here to live your own life, to pursue your own passions, to make your own mark on the world. And that means having the courage to stand out, to be different, to go against the grain. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Now, I'm not saying you should ignore all feedback. Constructive criticism can be valuable. It can help you grow. But you gotta be able to filter out the noise, the negativity, the stuff that's just trying to drag you down. Trust your gut. You know yourself better than anyone else. If something doesn't feel right, if it doesn't align with your values, you have the right to walk away. Don't be afraid to be the black sheep, the outlier, the one who's not afraid to be different. That's where the real magic happens. That's where you find your tribe, your people, the ones who get you, who appreciate you for who you are. Reason number 3. Get out of scarcity mindset and embrace abundance. Embracing abundance and being grateful for what you have can significantly improve your mental health. Focus on the positives in your life. Let's talk about this scarcity mindset. It's more common than you think. It's this belief that there's not enough to go around, that if someone else succeeds, it means you're losing out. It's a mindset that can really hold you back. It's this constant feeling of lack, of competition, of never having enough. It creates a cycle of stress and anxiety. You see it everywhere. People fighting over resources, over opportunities, over status. It's like a never-ending battle. It's like this dog-eat-dog world out there, and it's exhausting. It drains your energy and leaves you feeling empty. But here's the thing, the scarcity mindset is a trap. It's a mental prison that keeps you from reaching your full potential. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe there's not enough, you act accordingly. You limit yourself without even realizing it. You hoard, you compete, you sabotage, and you end up creating the very scarcity you fear. It's a vicious cycle. The truth is, there's abundance all around us. We just need to open our eyes to see it. There are endless opportunities, endless possibilities, endless ways to create value and make a difference in the world. The potential is limitless, but you gotta shift your mindset. You have to start seeing the world through a lens of abundance. You gotta start believing that there's enough for everyone, that your success doesn't come at the expense of someone else's. It's a win-win situation. When you adopt an abundance mentality, you open yourself up to a whole new world of possibilities. It's like unlocking a door to a brighter future. You start seeing opportunities where you once saw limitations, your perspective shifts, and new paths appear. You start collaborating instead of competing. You realize that working together can achieve more than working alone. You start giving back because you know there's always more to go around. Generosity becomes a natural part of your life. When you're operating from a place of scarcity, you're constantly in fear mode. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. You're worried about losing what you have, you're jealous of what others have, and you're never truly satisfied. It's a never-ending cycle of dissatisfaction. But when you embrace abundance, you step into a place of power. You feel empowered, confident, and ready to take on the world. You're grateful for what you have, you're excited about the future, and you're open to receiving all the good that's coming your way. It's a transformative experience. So, start noticing the abundance in your own life. It's there, waiting for you to acknowledge it. Focus on the good, appreciate what you have, and watch how your perspective starts to shift. Embrace abundance, and let it change your life for the better. Reason number 4, stop worrying about the future. Worrying about the future can lead to anxiety and depression. Let's talk about this thing with worrying about the future. It's like this constant state of anxiety, this feeling that something bad is always around the corner. You're stressing about things that haven't even happened yet, and it's robbing you of your present moment. You're caught in this loop of what-ifs, of worst-case scenarios, of potential disasters that may never come to pass. It's like you're living in this future that doesn't even exist, and you're missing out on the beauty of what's right in front of you. Here's the thing, you can't control the future. No matter how much you worry, no matter how much you plan, there are always going to be things that are outside of your control. But what you can control is how you respond to the present moment. You can choose to focus on the good, to appreciate the little things, to find joy in the everyday moments. Worrying about the future is like paying interest on a debt you might not even owe. You're expending all this energy, all this mental bandwidth on something that hasn't even happened yet. Instead of worrying about what might be, focus on what is. What can you do today, right now, to move towards your goals, to create the life you want? Take a deep breath. Ground yourself in the present moment. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the sensations in your body. Pay attention to your surroundings. The present moment is all we ever have. It's the only place where life is actually happening. Don't waste it by worrying about things you can't control. It's important to live in the present and take things one step at a time. Reason number 5. The dopamine trap. Reset your brain, reclaim your life. Let's talk about this dopamine overdose. It's like this chemical in your brain that gets released when you experience pleasure, and it's highly addictive. And in today's world, we're bombarded with dopamine triggers. It's like everywhere you look, there's something designed to give you that quick hit of pleasure. Social media, video games, junk food, porn, it's everywhere. And the thing is, your brain is wired to seek out pleasure, to chase that dopamine hit. Every notification, every like, every level up, every bite of that sugary snack, it's all designed to keep you hooked. So, you end up in this constant cycle of craving and reward. It's like a never-ending loop that keeps you coming back for more even when you know it's not good for you. But here's the problem, when you're constantly flooding your brain with dopamine, it's like anything else, you build up a tolerance. You need more and more of it to get the same effect. It's like chasing a high that keeps getting harder to reach. And that's where the trouble starts. You become desensitized to the things that used to bring you joy. You're less motivated, you have less energy, you're more anxious, you're more depressed. It's like your brain is stuck in a fog, unable to find its way out. Your brain is like a muscle. If you're constantly stimulating it with high levels of dopamine, it's like overtraining a muscle. It gets fatigued, it gets worn out, and just like a muscle, it needs time to recover and rebuild. So what's the solution? Well, you gotta give your brain a break. You gotta reset your dopamine receptors. And the best way to do that is through something called dopamine detox. It's like hitting the reset button on your brain. It sounds intense, but it's actually pretty simple. You just gotta temporarily abstain from the things that are triggering those dopamine spikes. Cut back on the social media, the video games, the junk food, the porn. It's about giving your brain a chance to heal. Spend time in nature, read a book, have a meaningful conversation. Do things that nourish your soul, not just your dopamine receptors. Engage in activities that bring you genuine joy and fulfillment. Now, I'm not saying you gotta become a monk and live in a cave, but you gotta find a balance. You gotta be mindful of your dopamine intake and make sure you're not overloading your system. It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle that supports your mental and emotional well-being. These are the 5 reasons why people today are depressed. Remember, understanding the root causes of depression is the first step towards overcoming it. Focus on personal growth, stay true to your beliefs, adopt an abundance mindset, live in the present, and manage your dopamine intake.